from Fanatics. So continuation of what has been going on since we've been back are kind of our updates. These are the upstairs tanks. We now have this tank set up, which is going through the cycling process. We're going to begin egg gathering. If you haven't seen this tank already, go ahead and go back to the previous videos and you'll find it there. This is the initial original Celestial Pearl Daniel tank that we had. Kind of scoot this out of the way real quick. You can see this thing has exploded. There's Java moss everywhere, and we were praying that with the amount of coverage these guys have, and they can dart in and out of that because they're so small, that we would get some fry out of it, but no luck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start putting cups in there with Java moss in it, and hopefully we'll be able to get some viable eggs out of it. And this will be what we use for the fry initially to start growing them out. Since even full grown, you can see these guys are super, super small. So this tank has flourished really well. Every one of the Celestial Pearls has been in here for quite some time. We do have both males and females, and they're super colored up. You can see that they're bright orange fins and spots all over the body. They look really nice, but we're gonna start breeding these guys out hopefully soon, and we'll see how that goes. And then we are here at the 29 upstairs. If you guys have seen this tank before, you will have known that there were mollies in here. We did get rid of those at the auction. We also had some platies in here, which are also gone. But the clown loach is still out. He's a lot more active now, which is really, really good to see. Our sword got trimmed down to the point where it's next to nothing, so this tank looks kind of empty because it was literally growing up to the point where it was like out of the tank by almost 6 inches. So it was time. There is still a pleco in here, and on top of the pleco being in here, we have, if I can find them, because they're super tucked away right now. There's one of them. We have 2 dragon blood peacocks in here. There's one of them. The other one usually hides out over here, but I'm not seeing. But we got picked those up. Decided to take a turn and see what we could do with these guys. We had, I think, a total of like 20 mollies that we had ended up selling off just to make room in this tank. It was time for a change. It's going to get rescaped and things are going to change in here again, so stay tuned to see that. But oh, there you go, coming out now. But there are 2 dragon blood peacocks in here. They've been getting along pretty well. They haven't had really any issues, even though there's not a ton of cover. There are some caves and some nooks and crannies for them to hide in. As you can see, the one was buried down there. So that's still coming along. We're still going to figure out exactly what we're going to do. But since we put them in here, this clown loach has been swimming everywhere. Has been out so much more, a lot more active, which is good to see. But now to the 60, which is the angel tank. If you guys have watched this video or any of the videos prior, you will have recognized all of these guys. Still a ton of snails in there. Still going through and pulling them out, but we have the huge super veils that are in here still. You can see there's one there. Our platinum blues, those are the ones that we're hopefully going to get down into the 20. We have our gold marbles. There's the other super duper veil. They're like, these guys are super huge now. I mean, they're as big as my hand. Plus, on top of that, you have the bristle nose that we had gotten when they were babies. That's what they look like now. He's a good 4 inches long. And most of them are about that size. They're between 3 to 4 inches. There's the other one there. You can barely see him, just his butt hanging out. They're doing pretty well. The tank has kind of gone out a little bit, emptied out a little bit, and we're going to continue to pull them out and hopefully get these 2 to breed. And I'm hoping to set up maybe one more, because I know that there's a gold marble along with the albino blue pearl scale here. These 2 have paired up, so maybe we can get them in, and that'll be an interesting mix. Hopefully get some gold marble pearl scales out of the deal, along with some just regular blue pearl scales too. So that'll be an interesting mix to see how that goes. The super veils have paired up as well, so I'm hoping if we can get these two here into a tank, and then get these guys into a tank, we can leave these 2 up here to have the 60 pretty much to themselves at the moment to see what they can do. And then also we have set up a new tank, but I really wanted to see what those super whales can do. So giving them a 60-gallon, hopefully that'll be enough for them to be able to breed and some, you know, be able to parent raise the fry, but we'll see how that works out. But we also set up a new 30-gallon that we picked, or 29-gallon that we picked up. That's going through the cycling process now. You can see it's somewhat scaped already. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go in here yet, but this is one of the newest tanks. This is the newest tank that we have. Just set up, brand new. So we'll see how it goes. You can kind of hear the filter running in the background. But I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with this tank yet. It's hard to say. The kuhakus that you've seen in the previous videos may come up here. They may hang out in this tank. It's undecided yet, but we'll figure that out as the time comes. And then last but not least, Babow. Felix 2. Still don't quite have a name for him, but Beta is still alive and kicking. And of course, you know, I've got to always capture this little guy because he's like the mascot. He's been with us for a while. And just chilling, still having a good old time. Swims around the entire tank. We got Java fern in there, and there's some, you know, moss in there and everything. So just a little bit of sand mixed with a little bit of gravel, just to give it a little more padding. But kind of just hanging out right now. It's usually much more active. Must be having a lazy day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, those are the tanks that are upstairs now and kind of the plans that we're going over. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop them in the box below. As always, we're open to suggestions. If you have anything that you want to see, sorry, I was watching them, kind of just moseying around. If there's anything that you wanted to know more about, or if there's anything that you would want to see, you can also let us know. If you haven't already, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Let's get these videos around and get more people into the fish keeping hobby. And as always, happy fish keeping.